So if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you'll know I'm a meta creator. In other words, they must like the channel and the content, so they give me early access to hardware and send me on trips like to MetaConnect. And there was an event in London where I got to go hands-on early with the Quest 3 to share my first impressions. Now going into this, I didn't really know whether to be excited about Quest 3 or not, but two things really did make me hyped for the headset at that event. Better graphics than Quest 2, because we had a demo of Red Matter 2, which you can change on the fly from Quest 2 to Quest 3 simply by clicking in a button, and it was easily the most impressive demo out of everything I saw. But second to that was mixed reality. So again, if you do watch my content, you know I'm a big fan of mixed reality. I do make quite a lot of content on it. I do videos that basically combine many games over one, because admittedly none of them are full games, and I'll leave you a link to those videos in this description. But the same comments always come up on those videos, and that is, why does your pass-through look so much better than mine? Now, something I discovered at these events was the lighting was really good, and it was almost made that way so we got the best experience of mixed reality. And there's two things that really come into play when it comes to using Quest 3 for mixed reality, and that is temperature of lighting and how bright the light is. So I'm very lucky in my little play space. I've got my studio lights up here, which I use, and they provide me decent light source to make my experience of mixed reality really good. So today's video is all about the public test channel on the MetaQuest app. So if you go on your MetaQuest app, you can sign up to be part of the public test channel, which is kind of like getting beta access to upcoming updates. And as someone who absolutely loves mixed reality, I was very intrigued to see what all the fuss is about, because a lot of people have been telling me that the new update for mixed reality on Quest 3 through public test channel is very, very good. So earlier this week I made a video using version 63 for a mixed reality video, and I used my brilliant lights, but now as you can see they're off. I've got one light source here, and this phone screen would have been, I just want to check, I'm at full brightness, this phone screen would have been invisible. I wouldn't have been able to see anything. I'm sure you guys recognize a lot of these folks here, and yeah, you wouldn't have been able to see this screen at all. I would have had to basically put my brightness down to halfway to make this happen. And yeah, so that was one of the first things I noticed. Just looking into a normal dark scenario like this wall here, the grain is visibly less, which is really cool. And yeah, so let's, for example, let me try Figmin quickly. So now we're going to jump to an app called Figmin, and this is my room mapped how the headset sees it, and this arguably is the worst lit area, so I can still see some grains, but I can actually make out everything, which I don't think I could have done before. And if we chuck in some 3D models quickly. Now, one of the really cool features of Figmin is you can have multiple sources opened at once. For example, I've got Kaneda's bike here from Akira. You can even move the light source around to put shadows in the room in a more realistic way. For example, I've got Optimus Prime here messing around. Basically what I'm trying to say is the difference between looking at this and looking at my real world is a lot better now than it was before. And this is in a, as far as I'm concerned, a very bad light scenario, which I've tried many times and I've kind of ignored using in mixed reality. Another thing I wanted to test out as well at the same time is the hand tracking. Now trust me when I say normally I don't think this would work that well, but in my testing today before making this video just to see if it is even worth making, I think it's actually like really vastly improved. Now normally with like public test channels and stuff, the reason they're called test channels is because maybe other things won't work right, I'm assuming, but I actually think it is worth turning on the public test channel and checking this out yourself. The only unfortunate thing is the warping. You get close to these cameras, the warping still an issue, and I'm still waiting for us to get occlusion, you know, similar to the Apple Vision Pro. So like my hand's passing through this still. In the Apple Vision Pro that wouldn't be the case. My hand would be on top of this and it would know the game's here and my arms are here, and that adds a massive level of immersion to mixed reality. So basically what I'm trying to say is I think everything eventually is going to be all about the Quest S and the light, and Quest 3 and the new headset that comes out. I think mixed reality eventually will be one of the best features of the headset that maybe not many people care about or use at the moment, but I think it's going to get there, and I think that's where it's going to I think Meta are really going to try and challenge Apple Vision Pro to be the best mixed reality headset. And if they keep this up, where it's working in like low light conditions, and it kind of still looks acceptable, apart from the warping, I don't know if they're ever going to be able to sort that out. Admittedly, you never really have your hands that close, but if you do, wow, it goes really all kinds of strange. But this is a bad scenario. Yeah, if I had my lights on, which I'll do now quickly. So for example, using my phone in this light, and this headset would have been impossible. I actually think the headset adjusts to the lights you're looking at, because I think personally the headset changes the amount of light it lets in now, because this grain has disappeared quite a lot. So hopefully in this video you've seen that a worst case scenario with the low light, and now with bright lights on up there, you can see that everything looks pretty good. Detail looks really good. Up close I can read everything, which I've never really been able to do before as far as I'm concerned. It looks decent. It looks really good. So I hope you guys check it out. Let me know down in the comments if you do check out some new mixed reality today. Let me know what you're playing as well. I've got like 2 or 3 videos that can recommend some apps, and I'll see you on the next one.